What's up, everyone? Another game in the Dynasty.
It's the 2K
It's going
Sports
slowly, but it's
Radio
going.
Show.
Yeah,
Hey
we'll do the
thank you
normal
for joining
thing.
us on
Talk
2K
to you after the
Sports. I'm
game.
Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. Looking at Minnesota, a strong stretch of play for this team, winning 6 of their last 7. They're playing at a high level, no lack of confidence going into tonight's game.
Coming to you live on 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. So glad you can join us from the beautiful Target Center, the home of the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. And, of course, John Henson. They will definitely miss his contributions.
Well, to say the deal changes the look and feel of this franchise is stating the obvious. I mean, they are a vastly different team than they were a few days ago. Obviously looking long-term rather than the short-term.
Exactly. I mean, trading away a player with his talents is clearly a big picture deal. I mean, you have to balance fit and talent as well as upside, and then to throw in the financial considerations. So this is more than just about the player.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Porzingis is out there with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Then there's Iman Shumpert. Then there's Pachulia. And it's Jackson in at the point guard.
And guys, Porzingis was almost a rookie last season, but he opted to pull out of the early entry and wait a year for this past summer's draft. Seems to have worked out for him as far as how his draft stock has changed.
Pistons on defense, coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
Now here's Jackson, following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins. And the rejection by Cousins. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just one basket away from winning it all. Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Now here's Carter Williams. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. And that's going to be too many steps. It's the whistle on the trap. Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his school the championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him. He's willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell. Check out these handles. That's rush hour handle. Not midday, not early morning. That's rush hour handle. That nasty spin just froze the defender.
Carroll kicks to Cousins. Right side a screen. A baseline J, and Cousins gets it to go.
There they go, finally able to drop one in on their fourth try.
The Pistons have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. The pass to Kid Gilchrist. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And Kid Gilchrist had that very funky jumper coming into the league. And prior to last year, really worked tirelessly. Not an easy thing to do to try to change the entire form and structure of your jump shot.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Clark for Kid Gilchrist and his shot. It seemed to be a step in the right direction for his entire offensive game.
Well, Kevin, it was the first year of reworking that jump shot, and the mid-range percentage has gone up as a result. That's positive progress.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Here's Hayward, and that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft, but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed 2-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with a miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him.
And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going. I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
And on the topic of Hayward hiring an agent, it was reported that the questionnaire was just the beginning, and that prospective agents also went through quite a grilling. In addition to that, you talk about a thorough process.
And so it's Detroit with the ball, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Out to the wing. Here's Porzingis. He's guarded by Cousins.
Just couldn't get a hand in the face on that one.
That's using what you got. He's got a height advantage, put it to good use there, and got himself a clean look. You know, back to Hayward, obviously his first NBA contract was subject to the rookie wage scale, but his second contract, 4-year max deal. So whatever the Haywards have done as far as agent vetting, it's paid off.
Some changes for Minnesota. Jabari Parker comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And it's Ellis in for Gordon Hayward. Detroit also making some changes. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Pachulia. Doug McDermott comes in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Shumpert. Now here's Jackson, following the miss by Monte Ellis. Varejao setting the pick for Jackson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Good job there by Varejao setting that screen.
Timberwolves trail by 4. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Stan Van Gundy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Here's Jackson. Jabari Parker making his last shot. Just 5 to shoot. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Jackson misses. The Timberwolves have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
For Detroit, they've gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Up and in on the layup. Jackson's got his second basket of the game.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Passes it to Caldwell Pope. Verjao with a screen on Ellis. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Boris Diaz checked in for Damari Carroll. And it's Lawson in for Michael Carter-Williams. Then for the Pistons, Channing Frye's checked in for Porzingis. And it's Rivers in for Reggie Jackson. Now here's McDermott. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. There's a screen. Rivers with it. Now Lawson defending. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
T.L. with it, guarded by Frye. Here's Lawson. It's hauled in by Frye.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
And here's Lawson. 14 points from him the last game against the Magic in Orlando.
And Kevin, a remarkable night for him passing the basketball as well. He did a great job racking up the assists.
Parker, no dice from 9 feet out. Pistons leading by 5. To the middle, hit his leg. And they're saying he kicked the ball. There's 38 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Rivers dishes to Verjao. And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. For Minnesota, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game. And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins. That misses, so he splits the free throws. For Detroit, they've gone 50% from the field in the first quarter, 8 of 16. Lawson against Rivers. He kicks it to Caldwell Pope. Pass to Frye. Off target from outside. And that does it for the first quarter. It's Detroit leading by 4. And we'll be back shortly.
All right, target center coming out of the court now.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been much more intense defensively. And their defense not only has been intense, but it's been swarming and saran wrap-like.
Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then there's Iman Shumpert. And it's Pachulia in at the 5 down low.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
And when you think of Kidd-Gilchrist, one thing that comes to mind is intangibles. He has a desire and intensity and a will to win that elevates him to elite status.
Yeah, you know, he never will be a great shooter, and he's still working on his jump shot. But the intangibles, you talked about it, you add heart and tenacity to that. Every team wants a guy like that.
Jackson drives in, dishes it to Pachulia, and stolen by Whiteside. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. Whiteside a screen. Kicks it to Carter Williams. In the corner, it's Hayward. 6 on the shot clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Nice work there coming off the screen.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
That is good.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Whiteside trying to break free. Parker's shot is off. Pistons leading by 3. Kid Gilchrist, the fastest jumper. Here's Pachulia. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Here's Carter Williams.
And you talk about momentum. That sort of action delivers a type of energy to your team that you just can't quantify.
You know what? I'm going to quantify it right now. And this is a close game, and that was something special.
And really, in a game, you guys, in a game like this, though, when you have a chance to send a message, you do. And boy, did he ever on that play.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Here's Parker, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Carroll's checked in. Timberwolves trail by 3. Last season for the Timberwolves, it was a struggle most of the season. Young teams tend to do that, but they didn't have, unfortunately, Greg, much luck at home.
You know, they basically limped their way to a league-worst 9-32 record at home. Part of taking your lumps as a young team. Let's see how they respond this season.
Kid Gilchrist against Carroll. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating. No luck. Hayward with some nice D. Minnesota's gotten both of their 3-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. From deep 3-point range, the long distance 3 is buried. Hayward's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves.
You know, not everything was bad for the Wolves at home. I mean, they did have several highlight reel plays and also found their way to the foul line a lot. Biggest free throw differential at home in the league last season.
And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy. And really, the problem for the Wolves at home is the same problem they had all season. I mean, their defense was atrocious. Worst field goal percentage against at home in the entire league last season.
And he gets it to go. Kid Gilchrist has got 11.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
Right side a screen. Hayward goes in. And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. 12 points for Gordon Hayward.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs from 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Cousins comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Lawson in for Michael Carter-Williams. Anderson Varejau's checked in for the Pistons. Caldwell Pope comes in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Here's Hayward. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And it's going to go on Amon Shumpert.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Channing Frye's checked in for Pachulia. McDermott comes in for Shumpert. And it's Austin Rivers in for Jackson. Rivers kicks to Varejao. And that one's good.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path. Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And Frye kicks to Caldwell Pope. Now the feed to Frye. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Lawson dishes to Cousins. Back to Lawson for 3. Here's Whiteside. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
They set the pick. Here's Rivers. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Whiteside's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Carroll up top. Hayward on the wing. There's 1:38 left in the first half. No good from Cousins.
And guys, last season was a painful one for Anderson Varejao. He had finally shaken the back injury that sidelined him the year before, signs the multi-year contract extension with the Cavs. Things were starting to look up. Then only 3 weeks later, he tears the Achilles and was ruled out for the season. You talk about a tough break.
Boy, he picked him out brilliantly with that feed inside.
Lawson against Rivers. He dishes it to Frye. Hits it from 3-point range. Frye's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
And adding insult to injury, certainly, Greg, as you were talking about, Varejao played well at the start of last season. Shooting 56% from the field. Clark, I think he was over 70% from the line. Those were career highs.
Yeah, and a terrible blow for Varejao and the Cavs because of that injury, the Achilles tendon. But it led to the deal for Mozgov, and that's worked out quite nicely.
It's stolen by Lawson.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time. Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And guys, mark that play right there, because that could be the one that leads to a surge to break this thing wide open.
Here's Rivers. Varejao passes to Frye. Varejao with a screen on Lawson. Rivers can't get it to go.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Timberwolves lead by 3. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Gordon Hayward has been all over the floor tonight. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, give them credit for getting out on that fast break. They made a concerted effort to run every time. Not once, not twice, every time, and it paid off in points. I also thought it wore down the defense.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
Well, they need to be much more.
And that's going to do it for now, as the second half is almost ready to get.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he has 20 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court for Minnesota, Carter Williams is out there with Hayward. Then it's Damari Carey. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Whiteside in at the center position. Hayward kicks to Whiteside. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. Finished off the break. Jackson's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Pistons. The Minnesota Timberwolves coming to this one after the win against the Magic in Orlando.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it. And Zaza Pachulia, for my money, has been one of the toughest players in the league. He's got a boxer's mentality. Even his face looks a little bit like a boxer's. He doesn't have the quick twitch muscles of some guys, but his power and effort consistently stand out.
That one is no good. Talking about Zaza's toughness, it's one of the reasons he has such a high rebounds per minute average over his career. And defending on the blocks, he's almost unmovable.
He really, you know what, Coach Kidd loves Zaza. Even started him over John Henson by the end of the season. I mean, he's always willing to trade body blows down low and certainly wins his fair share of those battles. And great job preventing that ball from coming into the post. Might have been an easy 2 if the defense wasn't there.
The 10-footer. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Cousins has got 5 points so far.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Jackson dishes to Shumpert. Back to Jackson. Pistons passing it around. Pachulia with it. Cousins is there. Pass to Porzingis. Second chance shot, and a little luck that time, but it drops. Porzingis has got the game tied up here for Detroit.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Minnesota calls timeout, and this is their first time matched up with the Pistons this year.
An interconference matchup. They faced these guys twice a season, and last year they took both games.
2 teams in the bottom of the East and West, as you said. These regular season victories count for more. Both hungry for a win tonight.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Boris Diaz checked in for Whiteside. Jabari Parker comes in for Damari Carroll. And it's Ellis in for Gordon Hayward. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. To the inside, Porzingis, and the rejection by Cousins. Here's Parker. Detroit with the rebound. Jackson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Kid Gilchrist, the pass to Porzingis. The 10-footer. Detroit, no good that time either. Minnesota in the lead. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Here's Ellis, and it's blocked. Jackson kicks to Pachulia. Here's Porzingis. It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right. Carter Williams against Jackson. Cousins dishes to Ellis. Screen by Cousins. Ellis goes in. An easy layup after coming off the pit. And the Timberwolves lead by 2.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Outside Jackson. They set the pick. Shot off the pick. Out to Shumpert for the lead. That's good. Shumpert's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, competitive, and I think we all can agree that we thought this would be the type of game that would come down to the end. And guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
Here's Pachulia. 4 on the shot clock. Sinks that one from the post. Pachulia's got 5 now. The Timberwolves have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Cousins with a screen for Carter Williams. The dish to Diaw. Parker passes to Ellis. Kid Gilchrist against Parker. Back to Ellis. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
Ty Lawson, he's checked in for Michael Carter Williams. And a different look here for the Pistons. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Pachulia. Fry comes in for Porzingis. McDermott's checked in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Shumpert.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Jackson kicks to Varejao. The shot, no good. And something not a lot of people talk about, Ty Lawson's defense. He has the lateral quickness, Clark, and strong lower body that gives, point guards fits.
Yeah, he's like a fire hydrant in terms of his build and strength. He's a good ball defender, but he gambles sometimes, so that can cut both ways. He'll get steals, but he'll also put you in tough positions defensively.
The Pistons have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Varejao with it. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Feeds to Caldwell-Pope. Picked by Varejao. Shoots it up. Again, the Pistons good for 2.
In talking about Lawson's defense, he was down in steals last season. But a part of that is because he stopped gambling as much. He's learned where to pick his spots.
Ellis can't get it to go. Detroit's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Jackson dishes to Fry. He feeds it to McDermott. Varejao passes to Fry. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Getting back to Ty Lawson, he's under 6 feet without shoes, relatively short wingspan as well, yet he's always had to deal with size limitations on defense, but he uses phenomenal anticipation and speed to win more than his share of battles at that end of the floor.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Whiteside's checked in for Cousins. Tamari Carroll comes in for Boris Diaw. And Gordon Hayward is subbed in for Ellis. Now the pass to Fry. Now here's McDermott. T right on him. Shot on the wing, and it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. The Timberwolves have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And Minnesota has possession. It's a one-point game. Whiteside sets the pick for Hayward. Off the pick. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Hassan Whiteside of Miami had the breakout year of all breakout years. Clark, he blew up in the right way last season. Averaged a double-double over 48 games.
Yeah, and great to see for Whiteside because he did have some issues prior to the breakout year, and it's nice to see him find his stride and produce with that awesome talent he has.
Porzingis, he's checked in for the Pistons. Picked by Varejao. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got 6 here in this quarter.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team. And talking about Whiteside, he isn't completely out of the woods yet. I mean, after a couple of ejections last season, his teammates publicly condemned his actions. They questioned his maturity, challenged him to be more reliable, and for the most part, he was after those incidents.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Here is Hayward. Right side a screen to the paint. It's intercepted, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to.
All right, target center, coming out of the court now are your Timberwolves dancers.
And thanks for joining us again as the 4th quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Now Carter Williams and Detroit looking at who they've got. They've got him on Shumpert. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with Porzingis. And it's Rivers, and it's Pachulia in at the 5 spot. Kept alive.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
And Carter Williams slams it in. Boy, right down to the wire here, Clark. Still anyone's ball game.
Both teams really invested now. I mean, this is the type of game you love to win and you hate to lose it.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And he better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
Pass to Hayward. Shumpert with the steal. Now Detroit moving it up. Kidd-Gilchrist leading the charge. Lets it go from 14. And Detroit again with the bucket. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Pistons.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They've worked hard tonight at crashing the boards as well. They've had a bunch of second chance points.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. On the wing, Shumpert. Defended by Hayward. Rivers. 4 seconds left, and the layup is good. And it's a 5-point Piston lead.
They've done a terrific job of getting offensive rebounds and then converting those here in the second half. I mean, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but they've turned them all into points.
Minnesota calls timeout. Austin Rivers traded to the Clippers last year. A change of scenery did him well, and he was comfortable coming off the bench.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, he seemed to get steady playing time, and that's what he needed most. And also, he wasn't defined by position. They were able to find a niche role for him to play in.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I was able to listen in on the Timberwolves head coach talking to his team. He told them to stick with what's worked to this point, saying, listen, they're giving us all the space we need inside. Let's take advantage of it. Keep working the ball inside the paint.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play. And, you know, the role for Rivers last season was that of a bench scorer. I mean, not sure if he'll ever be a starter, but he can be a part of a winning basketball team with his skill set. Defenders need to recognize and be alert to staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Jackson up top. And good as it rattles through the hoop. And the Pistons lead by 6.
And with the trade last season, Rivers became the first son ever to play for his father. His dad, of course, being Doc Rivers.
Here's Shumpert. And Hayward with the block. And here's the fast break. Carroll leading the way. And then Cousins with the dunk.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
Yeah, and for them to reduce the lead, they should keep the pace brisk. I mean, that's how they've generated the highest quality shots.
Jackson drives in, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. They get Hassan Whiteside.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And for Reggie Jackson, the league is going the right way in terms of his skill set. Everyone loves the guard who can shoot well enough to bust the zone as well as make plays for others and at the rim. And Jackson is that guy. It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, you know, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch.
And back to Jackson. He really took on the playmaker role after being traded to the Pistons. As a Detroit player, he averaged over 9 assists a game, Clark, which would have put him 4th overall in the league had it been for a full campaign.
Loved his aggressiveness, which led to opportunities for his teammates, but it also led to turnovers. That part of his game he's got to tighten up.
Nice ball movement by Detroit. Porzingis. Rebound, Minnesota. Hayward's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today. And unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant loss.
And you know, those giant losses were a big part of the Pistons season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
Screen by Cousins. Hayward with the ball. Now guarded by Shumpert. And Cousins kicks to Whiteside. Uses both hands to slam it down.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Shumpert, no good. For Minnesota, they've gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Carter Williams dishes to Cousins, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high, fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Again, Shumpert missing. Minnesota's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. Now here's Carter Williams. Right side a screen. To take the lead. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Detroit's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Outside Jackson. He kicks it to Shumpert. There's the pick. Outside Kid Gilchrist. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Shumpert. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Whiteside's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
And here is Carter Williams. Pachulia with the steal. Right side, Kid Gilchrist. Jackson. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. To the left side wing. Carroll, no one around him. And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. Carter Williams has got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Now a timeout called by Detroit. They trail by 2. There's 1:26 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Amon Shumpert. Here's Jackson. Here's the screen. This is to Pachulia. Can't hit.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Lock at 6. Here's Cousins. Sinks it.
And you can just see he's a different player since coming back from halftime.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 4. 54 seconds left to play in the final quarter. .54 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Hayward with the ball. Right side a screen. Here is Hayward. Screen by Cousins. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Plenty of space. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. And now a 6-point Minnesota lead.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Jackson drives in. Here's Caldwell-Pope. Detroit, no good that time either. And now we've got the intentional foul. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and that's an intentional foul. Gets the first, that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here, so now it's an 8-point game. Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're down by 8. 12 seconds left in the game. Good! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
And when he's got that much of a height advantage on the perimeter, it's really tough on the defender. Easy three-pointer.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good. Pass to Pachulia. And so the Timberwolves take the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, and they got pushed down the stretch, but they did what they needed to do and held their ground when it mattered most and got the double.
Bang. Another game down. Another win. That game started off ugly as hell. It took me a while to get my rhythm back. Boogie. Man, there was some weird stuff early in the game where I missed a lot of easy shots and
DeMarcus Cousins.
I don't know, I just made some stupid mistakes, and then there was some weird AI stuff going on.
He was locked down.
But all in all,
I can't imagine.
fun game. You know, I love it. I'm glad I do this thing, this Dynasty series or whatever, because it gives me a real excuse to frickin' play this game once a week, you know? I'd love to play it more, but I just don't have the time. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll show the box score. I'll exit out, see if I got a press conference, and then I'll end the video. Thanks again for watching.
Became unstoppable, man.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game.